Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that might seem a little techie at first, but I promise it's not as complicated as you may think, and it can make your advocacy work so much easier, faster, and more effective. Yes, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence, or AI for short. So what exactly is AI? You can think of it as a technology that in many ways learns and makes decisions, a bit like how people do. It's like a super smart assistant that can help you by doing things for you, whether that's finding information, writing documents, or even helping you understand complex topics like medical research. What's really exciting is that you don't need to be a technology expert to use AI. So, for example, imagine you're looking at the latest research, but it's really hard to understand. AI can help you summarize that information into really simple language. Or maybe you need to write a letter to a policymaker or decision maker, create a post for social media, or brainstorm ideas for advocating to a specific group. AI can help you draft that content in seconds, so you can focus on things that only you can do. AI really is like having a very helpful assistant right by your side, ready to save you time and energy. So let's take a quick look at how an AI tool can help you summarize a research article. Imagine that you found an important study on new treatments. Now, normally it might take a while to read through and understand all the details, and if you're like me, you have to do a lot of searching on the internet to find out what stuff means. But with AI, you can simply paste the text into an AI application, or in many cases, just upload the document or paste the URL into a source box, and it will give you a quick and easy to read summary, just like this. So in this example, I'm going to use NotebookLM. It's a free tool from Google, and there's lots of other tools that you can use to do this type of sense making, but we're going to begin with this one because it's free and it's really easy to use, and it has some fun features that a lot of the other tools don't have quite yet. Alright, to get started with this demo, first of all, I'm going to have to try and do and talk at the same time, and that often goes badly for me, so apologies in advance. To start with, to get to NotebookLM, which is what we're going to demo, you can just Google it, NotebookLM, and it'll come right up at the top here. So we're going to click this, and it's going to bring us to this lovely splash page. I'm going to agree to cookies, and then I'm going to click Try NotebookLM. And it's going to prompt me to log in to my account. So I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to click Next. And it's going to bring me to a page where I can create my first notebook. So I'm just going to click Create. There are example notebooks down below here that you can check out, but we're just going to go right to Create. And here we have a page that asks us to upload sources. So how NotebookLM works is it uses your content. So whatever you want to give it, it's going to use that as its source files, and it's going to create documents and answer your questions based on those files. You can upload from Google Drive, you can upload slides, you can directly link to websites, you can upload YouTube videos, and you can just either type in or paste text. There is a source limit, so you can upload up to 50 sources. We're only going to upload one source, but maybe a better way to use something like NotebookLM is to do a notebook for an area of interest, say it's research, and then put all of your research in that notebook, and then you can select which ones you want to dig more deeply into, or you can search across or inquire across all of them. So, but we're just going to use one source. So I have done a search for lung cancer EGFR, and I have found this NIH page, and I've already pre-selected this this research article, which is really confusing to me. One of the things I like about NIH is that it will actually display all of the research on one page. So I have two choices here. I can copy and paste all of this article and paste it into NotebookLM, or I can just use this URL. So I'm just going to grab the URL. So I'm going to highlight it, and I am going to, whoops. Oh, come on. Really? There we go. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it into our notebook. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, I forgot to say, you can also upload stuff from your actual computer. So you can have PDX, text files, markdown files, audio files. So there's lots of options here, but we've got a website. So we're going to paste this in. And it's got a note, so only visible text on the website will be imported. So again, the NIH website showed all of the text on one page. You could also just download that to a PDF and upload the PDF. So, and paid articles, they won't breach a paywall for you, but the NIH ones are free. So we're just going to insert that, and it's going to take half a second. And it's over on this side, it's uploaded. This is the source, right? So if you click on it, it actually shows you what was on there. And it also produces automatically this summary, which is great. It's still a little confusing. There's some automatic sort of documents that it'll create based on this. So it'll create an FAQ, a study guide, a table of contents, the timeline, a briefing doc. I find the briefing docs are pretty good usually. They give me the clearest sort of overview of what a document or a set of documents is about. This is a pretty complex document, so it took more than half a second to generate. It's usually quicker than that. So it's got everything that was in the article, but just sort of summarized it in a much briefer way. Which again, I'm looking at it and it's like, okay, this is still looking like, Greek to me. I don't really understand it. So we're going to do something really interesting with this. We are going to ask it a question. So we're going to say, please, always say please, explain this research to me like I'm a grade, whoops, I can't spell, grade schooler. I hope it understands what a grade schooler is. So please explain. You don't have to spell everything perfectly. You don't have to be too worried about that. It pretty much gets everything. Okay, so now I've asked it to explain it to me like I'm a child, and it says this research is about studying a tiny part of our bodies called the APOBEC3B, or A3B for short, and how it affects a sickness called lung cancer. This is my level. I can understand this. One of the wonderful things about AI is it understands metaphors. So imagine your body's cells as tiny houses with instruction books inside. This is wonderful. I get this. Now, maybe I want it a little bit more technical. So I can go, explain this research to me like I'm 15 years old. Oops, close enough. And then I can just hit enter. Now I can also ask really, really specific questions about this research. I can basically have a conversation with the research document. So now it says this research digs into the role. So this is still understandable, but it's a little bit more specific and precise around interpreting the research. And all of these here, this actually shows you exactly where this, right? So this line here, it shows you exactly where it's getting that from. And it's getting it right from the research document that you've uploaded. So this is how you can sort of check and make sure that your AI is not hallucinating. You may have heard that term before. Sometimes it tries to please a little bit too much. It can be misleading sometimes. And there's always like a disclaimer, right? Sometimes it'll give you inaccurate responses. So you want to check those facts. Now, when you ask a question in the chat, you can save this to a note. And that way it's kind of always available for you. Now, one of the really, really interesting things about this particular notebook, we should actually title this. So I'm going to paste this in here. We're going to title this research paper. Now, one of the really, really interesting things about NotebookLM, there's lots of interesting things, but one of the really interesting things is it also, in addition to generating all of these sort of off-the-shelf artifacts, creating summaries, answering your questions, it will also create a podcast for you. And you can now customize these. So I'm going to say, keep this simple. The goal is to help people understand the research. All right. Let's try and spell at least that correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to click generate. And this is going to take a few minutes. And you don't have to stick around. So I'm just going to pause the recording and we'll come back after it's generated the podcast. Okay, we're back, and it has created a 14-minute and 24-second podcast for us. This amazes me every time I listen to one of these. This technology does a wonderful job at taking really complex topics quite often and simplifying them into something that's very listenable. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but I do want to just allow you to listen to the first minute or so. So let's give this a play right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into some pretty fascinating new cancer research.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
We're going to be looking at this enzyme called APA.
And again, I mean, I always have to remind myself, these are AI-generated voices. These are not real human beings.
ABC3B.
Or A3B for short.
Right, A3B. And its role in lung cancer.
And it's a complicated one, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so A3B seems to be kind of a double agent, acting as a tumor suppressor initially.
Early on.
But then potentially fueling resistance to treatment later on.
Exactly.
So we're going to break it all down for you today.
Should be a fun ride.
Yeah, buckle up.
Lots of twists and turns.
And our research is based on a bunch of different sources today.
Yeah, we got a really good mix this time.
We've got some mouse models, human cell lines, and even some clinical data.
Yeah, so we're getting the full picture.
So where do we even begin?
Well, to really understand what's going on here, we got to start with the basics.
Okay, let's do it.
So ApoBec enzymes and A3B specifically are part of our immune response to viruses.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they actually work by changing viral DNA.
They change it how?
Essentially, they scramble the instructions of the viral DNA.
Oh, wow. So they're like little
Yeah.
DNA ninjas protecting us from these invaders.
Protecting us from viruses, exactly.
That's awesome.
But
Okay, I will stop it there, and I will make the link available. Actually, let's just take a look at some of these buttons here. First of all, I want to give this a big thumbs up, give it some feedback, because I think it did a pretty good job. So when you click on this button here, it opens a box that allows you to make this public access. So anyone with the link then can listen to this audio. So let's click this on and then copy the share link. And I'm going to copy that and save that somewhere safe. And it also has a preview button. So let's preview it and see what it looks like, because I haven't actually used this before. I usually download to SoundCloud. Okay, so it gives you a redirect notice, so it lets you know very politely that you're going to go to a different page, and then it opens another NotebookLM page, and in that page it just has the audio that you can play. So this is a public link, so this would be discoverable, and you could share it with anybody, which is pretty handy. Usually what I do is I download it and then I upload it again to SoundCloud. So this is a pretty handy way to share your audio. You can also share the entire notebook. So anybody with that logs in with Gmail, if you give them the share link and make it shareable, they can share the entire notebook with you. With NotebookLM, you can create, I think, up to 100 notebooks right now. For free, so that's a pretty good deal. So I'm going to encourage you to check it out. One more thing before we wrap this up. It is actually Stephen Johnson, who's one of my favorite authors, was instrumental in creating this. Google hired him and then pretty much gave him license to help create a tool that he could use as an author. So this is very much built for research. And I think that's one of the things that makes it work so well, is it's very much purpose built. AI might seem like a complicated topic, but as you can see, I hope, it's really about making your advocacy work easier and more effective. Now, we've just scratched the surface, so if you're curious about how AI can help you further, watch for more videos that we have around how to use AI as an advocate. And in these, we're going to dive into lots more ways that AI applications and tools can save you time and boost your impact as an advocate. And don't forget to download the resource guide. It's packed with tips and tools to get you started and includes step-by-step instructions for using two different AI tools, NotebookLM, the one we looked at in this example, and ChatGPT. So, I hope this is helpful, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.